because you might all be having your Wheatie Bangs. It is 7:30. I wonder if anyone crazy enough is going to join this YouTube live stream. Wait a few moments to get one, or maybe nobody. Because this, you see, I'm that much of an influencer. Nobody is going to join. Never mind, I'll rabbit on. Really easy drive up. I stayed at a hotel called the Way Inn last night in Scrabster. Oh, I've got one join. Oh, good morning, whoever you are. Feel free to leave a comment. I'm in the Tesla, as you probably know. Popped it on this Charles Place Scotland Rapid. 33 kilowatts is not huge, but whilst I'm waiting for the ferry, which is due to leave at 1:45. Morning, Canny Grower Beard. Good morning, sir. So whilst I'm here waiting, I usually wait over there in the car park for the ferry. But do you know what? Do you know when you're waiting for the boat, it's good just to sit on a rapid. So that's what I'm doing, but not a massive charge rate. But do you know what? I'm not doing anything else other than being a good boy, getting here when you're supposed to get here, which is like an hour before. Got the old tickets for the boat ready, and it's a beautiful morning here in the top of Scotland. I'm waiting to get my boat at what time does it go? It sails at 7:45. It gets in at 8 o'clock from Orkney, and people get off, and they usually like obviously to turn the boat around really quickly and get everybody on. So we will be actually moving at bang on 7:45. So they'll probably, it's 7:45, 8:45. Get me 7:45, 8:45 mixed up. But yeah, 9:15 the boat will leave. So it'll get in at 8 o'clock. Everyone will get off by 8:15, and then they shove everybody on for about 8:30. Everything gets tied down, and then we sail usually bang on 9:15. So whilst I'm waiting for all that to happen, it's good to sit on a rapid. So for those that have just joined, one of Charles Place Scotland Rapid, 33 kilowatts. It's not fantastic from a 50 kilowatt charger, but you know what? It's better than not. Let's just take you for a quick walk around, see if you want to see the delights of Scrabster. Let's flip the camera around. So it's just your normal ferry port, if you like. I do love this thing for long drives. Supercharging just makes it so easy. It really does. So most of the Tesla superchargers, well, especially the version 3s, 240 kilowatts as opposed to 34. But anyway, Tesla supercharger network is awesome. Let's see if we can walk around here and show you a Tootsie. They're doing a lot of development work here for the pier. I think they're extending the pier. But it was a beautiful morning about half an hour ago. Absolutely stunning. But as with most coastal towns, the mist comes in, cloud comes over. But beautiful morning here. We're about 20 miles to the left from John O'Groats. A place called Scrabster. Like Orkney, it does get quite windy up here, but as you can probably hear from the lack of wind noise, a beautiful, relatively calm morning this morning. So when the boat comes in, I might do another live stream, because it never ceases to amaze me how amazing it is that they can turn such a massive ferry around, and then they usually just reverse it in into the dock, which is that bit behind me, which is where you drive on. Good morning from down south. Kent, down south. Only 20 minutes from Farnborough, but unfortunately wasn't able to make it fully charged. Next time coverage. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, next time it's going to be the last 2 days in April, and the 1st of May is when the next fully charge is, which I think is about 8 months away. if you're close to Farnborough, just go. It's awesome. There's stuff there for everybody. Nerds like me, people that are just mildly interested in electric cars, home renewables, stuff for the kids to do. It's just a really good day out and lots of informative talks. So Dan and the team have done amazing to make Fully Charged Live outside such an event. This is the third one they've done, the third one I've been to. This one has been easily twice as big as the first two, and I think the next one's going to be even bigger. So Fully Charged, last 2 days in April, 1st of May 2022. So just go. If you live nearby, just go, honestly. That's enough PR, isn't it? All right, my uncle's old house is at the top of the cliff in front of you. Well, let's have a look. Is it one of those? There's a lighthouse round the corner. Obviously, if I step back a little bit, I might be able to see more. But yeah, let me know if I'm pointing in the right way. Scrabster's not the most glamorous place, as is Thurso. Hope there's nobody from Thurso or Glasgow to Thurso or Scrabster to upset. But yeah, anywhere in Scotland's lovely, to be honest. Interestingly, at Fully Charged Live, they had some diggers, not as big as this, but they had some diggers that were electric and not big chugging diesels. So the whole industry is finally waking up to electrification of vehicles and even heavy plant. I know there's everything, you know, there's a diesel crane there as well. Oh, you'll pull it. Oh, I'm sorry. Next car will be electric when you can afford it. Prices are coming down. That was one of the many talks. Fully Charged. Prices are coming down. Of course, you can always buy used. Cheap plug. I offer a buy-to-order service where we will buy you an EV at auction, and we just put £300 plus VAT. That's £360 on top of the price of the car, after costs, like the auction costs, etc. So, yeah, consider used. Although I have to say, used prices have increased. Obviously. Used prices have increased. I've never known it before. But that's great for the environment because it means that there is a huge amount of demand. Oh. So just by way of illustration, not to depress you folks, but you probably all know James and Kate, of James and Kate on YouTube. I bought him a 2015 Renault Zoe, 22 kilowatt hour. I bought in that 15 plate, I think it was 2 years ago, and I bought it for just under £5,000, 4,850 or something, from a trade sale. Low miles, nothing wrong with it, in the white. And I saw, that was 2 years ago, 15 plate. I saw a 15 plate last week from Arval Motor Trade, direct channel from the leasing company to the trade, i.e. me, so it doesn't go through an auction, it's just an online auction just for the trade. 15 plate Zoe, their starting price was 10,500 for a 15 plate. So a 15 plate Zoe 2 years later is worth twice the amount it was 2 years ago. Bonkers, but good. I'm missing all these comments. I don't know how I get the comments back up. I don't know. So sorry if I missed the comment. If you tap on the bottom, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, used prices are going up. So if anyone's doing the traditional English blokey thing, like, well, I'll wait till they drop in price a bit, you're going to have a bit of a long wait due to demand. And that's due partly because of the lack of semiconductors, chips sorted. Oh, Tech OS, very good. Although you've just said everything I was going to say. Spot on. So chip shortage means they're making less new cars, which means ex-lease cars aren't coming off being leased because they can't supply a new one. So they extend the lease of existing lease vehicles by great companies such as Drive Electric. And because it extend the lease, that means they're not going to auction, which means when the few that do trickle through to auction, there's such demand that the price just goes through the roof. And of course there's so many more specialists specialised in EV now than when I started. Without bragging, I think when I started in 2011, I think I was one of the very first used EV dealers. I'm just small fry to solely concentrate on used electric vehicles. Now there are dozens of companies, lots with much deeper pockets than myself. So Just EVs, Going Green, all sorts of weird and wonderful names denoting they specialise in EVs who sell electric vehicles. So I was one of the first, but it's great to see other people, all the dealers realising this is the future. So I welcome it, and I've dealt with Just EVs. You know, I've supplied cars from them to my customers, and again just put £300 on the car. Just want to get bums on seats of EVs. So it's great the demand's there, but it's having a knock-on effect of raising prices. And the previous comment is true as well, that because there's a lack of truck drivers, so obviously transport drivers, people that transport cars on car transporters, there's less of them about. So we're in this sort of perfect storm scenario of people wanting to get out of EV diesel before 2030. Then they need to act now. Oh, it's a White House in the distance. There's some sort of paley green ones and grey ones. But anyway, nice that you recognise where I am. So yeah, used prices have risen. Having said that, if you do look around, there have been some bargains. So I've done a video of a Mitsubishi i-MiEV, which basically I bought from a customer in Aberdeen who bought a Tesla Model 3, not off me, but he wanted to know if I wanted to buy his old i-MiEV that was 10 years old, 70,000 miles, suffering from quite a bit of body rot. And there's a video in my playlist if you look up Mitsubishi i-MiEV. Suffice to say, I bought that for £1,000. Still a decent range of 50 to 55 miles. Originally the i-MiEV had a range of around 70, so there'd been some degradation, but still worked perfectly fine. I spent the best part of £2,200 dropping the battery pack and having the whole chassis welded, MOT'd, brake lines, just rust. I won't say rust prevention, but rectifying the rust issue. It had lived near the sea most of its life. Nothing wrong with the drivetrain, nothing wrong with the battery pack. You know, if anything, it's lasted longer and was in better health than a comparative 10-year-old Nissan Leaf. And I sold it for £3,995. So after costs and transport, I think I made about £500 on it, not 300, because I put a huge amount of blood, sweat and tears into getting that car back on the road and safe and legal. But it was just to emphasise the point on that video that nothing wrong with the drivetrain. It was just the metal chassis that had rotted. So I was quite keen to do it, and I did the video just to disprove that, you know, after 10 years the car wasn't ready for landfill. It just needed some TLC on the chassis. So top tip, if you've got a Mitsubishi i-MiEV, Peugeot Ion, Citroen C0, they were all built in Japan, don't have the best rust proofing. So if you do have one, they're cracking EVs, great value for money. Seriously consider getting all of it cleaned underneath and then wax oiled or sealed in some way to preserve the rot. You don't have to drop the battery pack, because when we did, you'll see in the video, you drop the battery pack, it was like new underneath. It was only where it had been exposed to the elements that the rot had set in. So yeah, there are some cheap EVs if you can find them. I think the cheapest ones I've seen are around about £3,500 to £4,000 for an i-MiEV on a 12 plate. And again, 2-3 years ago I was buying them at 3 years old for about £3,500. Now the same car today, if you wanted to retail one or find one on Auto Trader, they're all around 4,500 to 5. And that's the first generation of EVs. So terrible heater, a resistor heater. Takes about 10 minutes to get a waft of warmth out of the vents because it hasn't got a heat pump. But if you're just doing a UK average run of around 20 miles, an IMEV is just perfect. Really, really good. You can rapid charge it as well on the old Chadamo, and charges at 3.3 standard AC onboard charger. And yeah, great little cars for around town. Drop the back seats, oh my word, they are absolutely huge inside. So there you go. If you can't afford new, seriously consider used, and don't write off something like a Mitsubishi IMEV, Peugeot Ion or a Citroen C0, but try finding one. People that have them tend to hang on to them, so if you see one and it's sensibly priced, just buy it. Really good. Also, on the fully charged, I did a daily walk around, and I'm going to do a video when I get back, when I've got time. If you buy it as a non-runner, if it doesn't charge, which can be a common fault on the older IMEVs, there's a piece I did talking to the guys from Hevra. Now, Hevra is like an association of garages that the Hybrid and Electric Vehicle Association, I think Hevra is the acronym. And basically on that video I showed them, the guy's name's Pete, who was hosting it there, that they had an IMEV in, the customer had gone to Mitsubishi and they'd said, oh, it needs a brand new battery, £10,000. Yes, I did, Neil, thank you. I did see my family when I was down in Leicester. Yeah, as I was saying, the Mitsubishi dealer wanted £10,000. They took it for a second opinion at a Hevra garage. It was a tiny little circuit that fits in a what's the word? A circuit board within the battery pack. £25. Not 10,000, £25. Now there was obviously quite a bit of labour to drop the pack, open the pack, diagnose the fault, find the fault, replace the part, and it was good as new. So my experience is, over the years of being in the motor trade, you take any car to a main dealer and all they will do is follow the format of, oh, it could be the inverter, it could be the battery pack, and they'll just throw huge parts at it, massive sums of money at a fault, when if they just diagnosed it, just a little bit more effort, you can find out it's a £25 part. So if you find an IMEV that's a non-runner, get it at a really cheap price, get it trailered, get it taken to a Hevra garage, and obviously there's a fair amount of risk, but 9 times out of 10 it's a cheap fix part wise, but you might have to pay a chunk in labour. So I mean, even if it cost, I don't know, £2,000, you'd still got a really cheap usable EV if you get it repaired. So there you go, top tip, giving you all these trade insights. So I've been here for a while, so if you tune into the beginning of this, I'm still charging a massive rate of 33 kilowatts. Got more than enough. I just thought I'd use the time here to charge up. Took a while to find out what the cause of fail. Yeah, that's right, Jude Brown. So that's on my YouTube stream. Videos I've done. I think I've called it Fully Charged Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3. It's all a bit disjointed, but I'm going to grab those videos off YouTube and just make them into a one complete video and tidy it up a little bit. But great event. Hats off to Dan and the team. So has anybody got any more questions? I've got 13 people watching, which is quite amazing, whilst you're having your wheatie bangs this morning. Cars are still turning up. What can I zoom in? Oh, I can zoom in. So that's where they all line up to get on the boat. And so if you've got an EV, instead of sitting there doing nothing, sit here and charge up on the rapid that you can see behind me from Charge Place Scotland. Now, Charge Place Scotland recently taken over by Swarco, I know the amazing Bob Murphy, Avon Redbeard on social media, and they're doing a great job. Heading north from the mall next year. Okay, well done, Neil. So Swarco have taken over the network. Now they've been getting quite a lot of grief because there has been some teething issues. Now all the guys at Swarco that I know, they're all EV drivers, and they're all really passionate about making the Charge Place Scotland network work. And they're doing the level best, but they've inherited from good old Charge Master, aka BP Pulse. For those that drive EVs, if I say BP Pulse, what's the first thing that comes into your head? Answers on a postcard, please. So they've inherited it from BP Pulse, and it was just diabolical. So they're doing the level best to sort out a huge mess. But what gives me confidence is they all want it to work. Yes, angry face BP Pulse. BP Pulse, you know, BP, British Petroleum, not really that keen to make their rapid charging network work. I wonder why. Petrol company owning a network of rapid chargers. Read into that what you will. But yeah, it is getting better, so let's not give Charge Place Scotland lots and lots of grief. They are trying their level best. It's such a complex issue. What I would like to see, and what is going to be done, is that when there's no comms, no communication, they default to free chargers. All right, okay, group of chargers in Bakewell that according to Zach might hadn't worked for over a year. Yeah, something has to be done. When you look at the fragmented rapid charging network that we have, the upside is people like Instavolt, Offspray, and probably a few others that I can't think of right now. They're now moving to just charging with your debit card, activating a charge with your bank card. That's going to be the way forward. None of these apps, RFID cars, membership models. It's just too complicated. We want to turn up, waft your debit card and get a charge, and that's what Instavolt have done, and Offspray and many others are following suit, and I believe Charge Place Scotland will as well. Bernie ever text, how do we sell a petrol car to get an EV from you? Try WeBuyAnyCar.com, owned by British Car Auctions, who also own Cinch. So BCA and their backers are becoming quickly the Amazon of the car world and upsetting a lot of car dealers. Try WeBuyAnyCar.com. From what others have said, they're paying top money because of the lack of supply at auction, not just for EVs, as I said earlier, but for also ICE cars, internal combustion engines. So everything is in short supply, petrol, diesel and EVs. So because We Buy Any Car is part of British Car Auctions, they are paying top money for anything with four wheels. So try them. And traditionally, you know, they'll give you a high price, you turn up and they'll chip you away for the odd mark and the odd scrape, which is sort of fair enough, but you've always got the option of walking away. But from what I'm hearing, they're paying really top prices. So try that. Yeah, well, people have done that. They've tried a value last year and they try a value now, and they find out that it's a lot more. Paul's lost money, failed to expend. Yeah, there's got to be a lot more investment. You just zoomed in on the houses top of the cliffs. Oh, okay, right, okay. I think we've got Robert wants to see where his uncle used to live. Let's see if I can do it. Is it one of those, Robert, at the top? Yeah. Kia Picanto, which said fine. Wow, okay, Picanto, wow, 2.5, that's not bad, but a cheap and cheerful car. Yeah, so try that. They will knock you back when you turn up, but it's worth the trip, especially if you've got one of their We Buy Any cars local to you. It's not a wasted trip. I think sometimes they do bank on you perhaps driving 40-50 miles to a We Buy Any car centre, with a friend following, hoping to just leave it there and walk away, and they're then banking on you going, oh, well, okay, knock £1,000 off for all the damage, and then you'll just go away home in a huff because you'd got someone else to give you a lift back home. But if it's closer to you and you can drive there on your own, then try that, and then go back another day with a lift. So yeah, I've been on for 25 minutes. I'm surprised I've still got people watching. But anyway, has anyone got any questions at all about the motor trade or EVs at all? Right, category N went up in value. That's how bad things are. Wow. And if any of you guys have got an account for auctions, you'll be surprised what stuff makes. It is quite crazy at the minute. So has anyone got any questions about EVs, charging, Teslas? Again, I've got a Kia in here at home, which I've leased through Drive Electric. Amazing bit of kit. But do you know what made me take this Tesla south was the charging network. The superchargers are just so easy. It's not even a thing. In fact, you know, doing videos and having a rant about the charging infrastructure, you can't do that in a Tesla. It's boring. It's boringly efficient and works. It's taken all the excitement and all the drama out of doing a long EV trip now, because I don't do any planning. I don't get me sheet out. I don't do, you know, postcode to postcode. Yeah, ID3's gone up. Is there ever going to be a hare and tortoise race again? Maybe. I don't know. James is really busy doing his mobile service of James and Kate servicing. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, with the Tesla superchargers, I don't even do any planning. I just get the car to tell me where to charge, and it preheats, preconditions the battery, preheats it or pre-cools it before you get up to the rapid. So absolutely awesome. Let's go and see if the boat's in. Headed up from Glasgow to Birmingham. Any recommendations for charging on the way? Instavolt. If you want to have absolutely perfect charging, go for Instavolt. Aim for them. Oh yeah, the boat's in. Let's show you the boat. Oh, it's just reversed up. Oh, I missed it coming in. There we go. So this is called the Horossi. No, it's not. The Hamnivo. So that's my boat this morning. Oh, had the bing bong. Oh, it's a bit dark. I'm shooting into the sun. There we go. That's a lovely Northlink boat. So it's about an hour and a half on that back to Orkney. So we'll leave at 9:15, 10:15. Get in about 10:15, 10:30. So that's where I'm going this morning. So yeah, the best. I don't think they're coming off yet. Best unplug. I'll wait for all the cars to stop coming off, and then I'll be on my merry way. Jude, James will go anywhere. Yeah, they will actually. James will go everywhere. Although I wish he'd come to Orkney. It'd be good to see him on Orkney again. But he's working all the hours, and he's doing a great job. Is James. I think that is the future. Everything comes to us now, doesn't it? Our shopping, Amazon, all comes to us, and so, you know, why not have a mobile service to service your EV? And that's what James is doing quite successfully. So yeah, there we go. So there's folk still turning up. Folk walking to the boat, folk being dropped off. So cheekily, I'll stay here, and then when the guy comes up to unlock that gate, he just gives me a wave so I can be first on. Which is quite funny actually, because it very often upsets people that have been in the queue. We've still got this English thing, haven't we, about queuing, but everyone gets on the same boat. You probably have lots of holidays there. Yeah, he does like Orkney, does James. I can't wait to get him up again. But it is what it is. Of course, when you've got a family and a young child, it's good to be around family, isn't it? Yeah, thumbs up to James. Books him in for a service while I'm at work. See, that's it. You know, we charge the cars whilst we're doing something else, so why not service the car while you're doing something else? You know, the whole motor industry is changing. And I think Tesla are first to do that, where everything is just online. Yeah, nobody gets there any fast. It's like people who pay for VIP boarding on flight. I agree. I never quite get that. You get in a slightly shorter queue, but the plane still takes off at the same time. Yeah. So the only thing I do, I wait for all the cars to come off here from off the boat, and when they start peeling off in a long line, that could be the first one. I don't know. Let's just see. When they'll start coming off, I'll then unplug and then get ready to get on the boat. So yeah, so what are we up to now? 143 miles. Oh, gone up now, look, pulling 42 kilowatts. Well, hey, it's probably because the battery was cold. Yeah, if you want James to come and do you an EV service, bribe him with cake. And he has said, I'm going to say it, he said the Scottish hospitality is a lot better than those in Englandshire. So yeah, oh, all the cars are coming off. I'm guessing if there's yeah, I think these cars are now coming off the boat. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he likes to be fed. James likes to be fed and likes to talk. He's a lovely guy. So it was nice to catch up with James at the weekend at Fully Charged, as well as Nick Ramo and Matt Cleveley were on the stage doing a talk. That'll be on Fully Charged soon, no doubt. And there was a nice video this morning from the Plug Seeker, so check him out on the Twitters and the YouTubes. He interviewed Dan Caesar, so that was quite good. Well done, Colin. Anyway, let's sign off. I'll tell you what I could do. I'll sign off now, and then if I prop the phone up, you can come on the boat with me. How exciting is that? It's 2 minutes past 8. I'll do that. I'll sign back in when I start to move, just so you can see the inside of a boat. Might lose a signal because it's metal and I'm on 4G at the minute. So I'm going to unplug and get ready, and when we start up, I'll tune back in. I'll see you guys in about, probably my guess is in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to stop streaming. Okay.